Welcome back to CAR Upcoming. Today, we're taking a detailed look at a vision of the 2027 Lexus RX 800h, a futuristic interpretation of Lexus luxury SUV formula that combines an aggressive new exterior, an ultra-premium digital cabin, and the possibility of a much more powerful electrified drivetrain. Finished in deep gloss black, the RX 800h shown here almost looks like it has been carved from a single piece of polished obsidian. So where official information isn't available, we'll separate realistic expectations from pure speculation. With that established, let's explore what a 2027 Lexus RX 800h could potentially bring to the luxury SUV market. Starting at the front, this concept doesn't exactly whisper luxury. The familiar Lexus spindle-inspired identity has evolved into an enormous geometric front fascia that occupies almost the entire nose of the SUV. Above it, a thin horizontal LED signature visually connects the two sides of the vehicle, creating an almost continuous lighting architecture. Large aerodynamic openings, angular surfaces, and a pronounced lower splitter give this RX something we don't normally associate with the nameplate. Move around to the side and the proportions become easier to appreciate. The hood remains relatively long and sculpted, while the windshield flows smoothly into a dark roofline. The vehicle still has the commanding stance expected from an RX, but several details visually reduce its mass. Large black multi-spoke alloys fill the wheel arches, while relatively low-profile tires give the RX 800h a planted, performance-oriented stance. The rear, a thin red LED light bar stretches almost uninterrupted across the tailgate, visually connecting the taillights and exaggerating the vehicle's width. The taillights themselves are particularly interesting because the horizontal lighting is complemented by vertical elements running down the outer edges of the bumper. Open the doors and the RX 800h suddenly becomes a completely different vehicle. The concept shown here uses a beautiful cream and beige color palette throughout the seats, dashboard, doors, steering wheel, and center console. Instead of separating the instrument cluster and infotainment display into conventional screens, this concept imagines an enormous panoramic digital surface spanning most of the cabin. Directly ahead of the driver is the digital instrument display, while navigation, vehicle information, entertainment, and other functions could occupy the central and passenger side portions. Technology alone doesn't create luxury. Large sections of the dashboard and center console feature natural-looking wood surfaces. The door panels combine soft upholstery, metallic detailing, wood, and intricate speaker grills. The seats appear wide and heavily cushioned, with detailed perforation and pattern sections creating a handcrafted appearance. That could mean advanced voice controls, cloud-connected navigation, smartphone integration, over-the-air software updates, customizable digital instrumentation, and increasingly sophisticated driver assistance technology. Now we arrive at perhaps the biggest mystery. What would power something called the Lexus RX 800h? At this stage, there is no reason to present a specific engine configuration or horsepower figure as confirmed. So the ideal RX 800h should deliver effortless rather than violent performance. An electrically assisted all-wheel drive system could then distribute torque between the axles depending on traction and driving conditions. Now for the question everyone is probably waiting for. Since this specific RX 800h is conceptual and does not have confirmed production pricing, we shouldn't pretend there is an official MSRP. A hypothetical starting point somewhere in the upper $80,000 to $100,000 plus range in the United States would not be difficult to imagine, depending on powertrain and equipment. The 2027 Lexus RX 800h isn't compelling simply because it looks futuristic. It's compelling because it imagines what the RX could become if Lexus removed some of the traditional limitations surrounding the model, but hopefully without sacrificing the comfort and refinement that made the RX successful in the first place. The continuous red lighting. If Lexus could combine that environment with a powerful next-generation hybrid system, intelligent all-wheel drive, meaningful electric capability. Leave your thoughts in the comments below. If you enjoyed this detailed look at the 2027 Lexus RX 800h concept, make sure to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications because we have many more future cars, luxury SUVs, hybrids, and next-generation concepts coming. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.